What does a managed service provider or MSP actually do? Because most businesses do not really understand it until something breaks. So, if you have a post it note of your IT guy's number on your monitor, hoping you will never have to call it, this one is for you. Let's start it up. Hello, and welcome to Stack and Startup Al Fresco, the show where we ask you to think outside the box as we talk about business growth, leadership, and the real strategies behind scaling companies. Today, I want to clarify something that is surprisingly misunderstood: what a managed service provider actually does. Because if you ask most business owners, you will hear things like they fix computers, they handle IT, or we call them when something goes wrong. And none of those things are completely wrong, but they are incomplete. And that gap in understanding is exactly why so many businesses wait too long to bring in an MSP. Let's start with what an MSP is and what it is not. We need to define this clearly. An MSP is not just a break fix technician or a help desk or a vendor you call when something is down. A properly structured MSP is there to maintain your systems, secure your environment, monitor your infrastructure, and help guide technology decisions over time. It is not reactive. It is supposed to be proactive, not just support. It is ongoing management. So here is the old model versus what the current reality is. The traditional model was simple: something breaks, you call IT, they fix it, you pay. That is called break fix IT. The problem is that model assumes downtime is acceptable. And today, that assumption does not hold because businesses now rely on cloud systems, email, file access, software as a service or SaaS platforms, and connectivity. When those go down, your business stops. And most businesses don't think in terms of downtime until they experience it. And by then, it's already expensive. According to Gartner, the average cost of IT downtime is estimated at $5,600 per minute for businesses, which does vary by size. If you watched my earlier podcast, 3 IT mistakes that quietly cost small businesses money, you can actually experience what that loss looks, sounds, and feel likes. The info card will be in the corner right here. Even if your business is smaller, the principle still applies. Downtime is expensive. So the model shifted from fixing problems to preventing them. Now, let's break down what this actually looks like day to day. First, when monitoring systems, MSPs monitor servers, workstations, whole networks, and your backup strategy. Not occasionally, continuously. The goal is to catch issues before they become outages. Second, for security management. This is one of the biggest areas. MSPs handle endpoint protection, patch management, threat monitoring, and user access control. And that matters because according to IBM's Cost of the Data Breach report, the average cost of a data breach in 2023 was $4.45 million. And I don't know about you, but I do not have that kind of cash just lying around as a small business. Even smaller incidents can be devastating for small businesses. When it comes to backup and recovery, this is not just about having backups, but ensuring that they work, are tested, and can be restored quickly. Because a backup that fails when needed is not a backup. Fourth, for your strategy planning, this is the most overlooked part. A good MSP helps you decide what to invest in, what to replace, and what to standardize. This reduces unnecessary spending, poor decisions, and long-term inefficiencies. So the question is, why do businesses wait too long? This is where things tend to break down. Not because businesses are making bad decisions, but because the signals aren't always obvious. Here are some reasons for that. The first reason, nothing is broken yet. This is the most common. If things appear to be working, there's no urgency. But here's the issue. Most problems are invisible until they are not, and then they become critical. Security gaps, backup failures, outdated systems. They do not announce themselves. Your second reason, cost perception. Many businesses see an MSP as expensive. Instead of risk reduction, operational stability, cost control over time. According to CompTIA, 46% of companies working with MSPs reduce annual IT costs. 13% saw costs reduced by more than 25%. How much more can you invest in your business with those savings? So the perception does not match the outcome. The third reason, we have somebody that handles IT. This goes back to the My IT Guy video. This could be an internal employee, a friend, or a part-time contractor. And that can work for a while. But most of those setups lack 24/7 monitoring, depth of security, or any kind of redundancy, which means risk is still present. The fourth reason, and this can cause underestimating risk, and it is a big one. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, 88% of small business owners feel vulnerable to cybersecurity attacks. Let me say this again. 88% of small business owners feel vulnerable to cybersecurity attacks. Yet, still many operate without structured IT management. There is a gap of awareness and action. Now, here's the real cost of waiting. There's reactive spending. Emergency fixes are more expensive than planned investments. You will lose productivity. Small interruptions can compound over time. There's your security exposure. The longer that systems go unmanaged, the more vulnerable they become. And that can lead to poor technology decisions. Without guidance, businesses can overspend, they can underspend, or end up investing in the wrong tools. And most of this doesn't show up as a single line item large expense. It shows up as small inefficiencies. So then your next question is, what should you look for in an MSP? Well, as an MSP owner, I would always suggest setting an appointment with me. However, if you are evaluating this, focus on proactive monitoring, not just support, clear security practices, backup validation, not just promises, strategic input, not just execution, and creating your IT solution should not feel like ordering off a menu, no matter how nice it is to dine al fresco. If those are missing, you're not getting the full value. An MSP is not there just to fix things. They are there to reduce the number of things that need fixing. That is the shift. And once you understand that, the timing changes. Most businesses don't think about bringing in an MSP until something breaks. But the real value shows up before that point. My view of IT and of my company is largely based on a quote from the TV show Futurama. When Bender was talking with the universe god computer, that computer said, "When you do things right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all." While this sometimes might feel like you are throwing money away, I still see it as a powerful statement. When phones work right, you don't notice it. You do notice static on the line. When your computers are working right, you don't notice it. You do notice crashes. When your network is working right, you don't notice how long it takes to transfer files. You do notice a file won't move over at 4:55 in the afternoon on a Friday. Your MSP should show you the value of their service and not just give you a list of things they fix. If you are running a business and you are still operating reactively, it is worth taking a closer look at your systems. The question is not just if something will go wrong, it's how prepared are you when it does. So thank you for tuning in to Stack and Startup Al Fresco. If you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss future episodes. You can find us on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts to follow along as we continue to explore business and technology from a different perspective. Lastly, if you want to support these conversations directly, you can become a patron at patreon.com/stackandstartup. Until next time, keep thinking outside the box.